So Marc joins us now. Marc, congratulations on this new opportunity. And I wonder, when you accept this job, what was the biggest thing that drew you to wanting to lead USA Lacrosse?
Wow, it's hard to pick one thing. I'll say there's probably two important components. One, the sport itself and the community, is something that's incredibly special, and it changed my life, and it changed my life in very profound and positive ways. The sport did, but not only the sport, but the coaches and teammates that are part of the infrastructure. Without them, the sport doesn't have the impact that it has on people like it did, like it did for me, for that matter. So one, the sport in and of itself, I have incredibly emotional, soft spot for. And then the business itself. My background is very much in sport business and media and technology. And it's also, fundraising and philanthropic background that I have. And so this, opportunity was, from a business perspective, brought all those things together. So it combined the mission and the commercial side of it. In terms of business, it, for me, was just felt like an unbelievably once in a lifetime opportunity.
So you mentioned your relationship with this sport. You grew up in Western New York, and you had the opportunity to go to Hofstra, and you played for head coach John Danowski when he was there. I wonder, what was the impact of your past in the sport in terms of where you think the sport can go in the future?
Well, the sport has changed from when I played. Let's just talk from that perspective alone.
Yeah.
The athletes now, men and women, are bigger, faster, stronger. They are more talented. They take better care of their bodies. There's just a better understanding of safety, health, and wellness. And so if you look at when we played, we were just getting started with plastic sticks, and they were kind of big and bulky, and people were playing with wooden handles, for the first time, between the wood and the plastic, as opposed to all, wood and hickory. So it evolved. The helmets felt like weird little paper things on your head compared to the helmets today. And so the sport, and all sport, will always evolve. So, how we played the game fundamentally is the same, but everything around it continues to evolve. So then fast forward to where we are today and moving forward, I'm excited, about where the sport can continue to go in terms of evolution and change. And all sport should evolve. All businesses, all organizations should evolve. Evolve or die, as the saying goes. And there's obviously, it's a saying because it's real. And so for lacrosse, I think it's our obligation to continue to evolve the sport, to make it more accessible, to continue to maintain health and safety, and do everything we can to make sure that the players are in the best position to succeed, and do so in a healthy environment. That also helps the coaches, the parents, the officials do what they need to do best. So I'm excited about where we can continue to go with the sport. But, the reality is USA Lacrosse and Steve Stenerson and the staff has done a phenomenal job to evolve the game to where it is today. So, I'm fortunate to step into a situation that really is, fantastic.
You mentioned some of your past. You spent a number of years with the New York Jets, and then also working for a variety of different sports marketing agencies and ways, and working with people with media rights and different things with their brand. When you look at lacrosse as a whole, and obviously being part of USA Lacrosse, you're looking for the vision of where the sport is going forward in the future. What are the parts of lacrosse and the sport that really you feel like can continue to be sold to the public who may not know about this sport, that can continue to allow the sport to grow?
Ooh, I think there's a couple areas to focus on. I think that one, and this is in no particular order. So I think one, when you look at the athletes who play the game at all levels, and all levels of skill, the game is fun. So let's just start there. The game is fun. And as you are continuing to evolve in the sport, the level of competition, the level of play in terms of its similarity to, say, basketball and other sports, is strong. And if you look at that in terms of matchups and, 2-on-2s and 3-on-2s and offensive strategy and defensive strategy combined with athleticism and the fast-paced nature of the game, that is incredibly exciting. The other part of that is there's great stories. There's tremendous stories around the athletes, the coaches, the officials, and the people that support the game and the infrastructure. And that is compelling and interesting. And so I look at the vision of USA Lacrosse as a media, I'm going to say media company. I mean, we are a 501c3. We are, a nonprofit organization. But from a commercial perspective, we're a media entity. The other thing is we're a social network. We really want to lean into that in terms of providing an opportunity for our community to play the game, no matter what level you want to play the game, but find access to the game and do it in a healthy and safe environment, and allow our coaches and parents and officials to do that with all of the resources. So, that's the infrastructure. But in terms of selling it to the outside world, it's fun, it's fast paced, there's great strategy, there's great athleticism that goes with it. And the competition is the best in the world. And that can be very compelling.
No, it's extremely compelling. And I feel like anytime anybody you introduce to the sport goes, man, this is really exciting and fun. And I think that it's something that echoes across everybody who's introduced to this thing. It certainly was for me. Your vision, where do you hope to take USA Lacrosse as an organization? What's the goals you have in mind as you look a couple of years down the road?
Well, the first thing is any one goal from an individual doesn't happen without board support and the leadership of the board and all the volunteers that commit a lot of time and energy and resources into the sport. So, we'll take my individual vision and put in context that there's a board and there's a staff and team of people and a whole network of people in that community that make this engine run. So with that said, my vision very much is around putting the organization and evolving the organization in a way that optimizes everybody's ability to be successful, right? So let's continue to focus on the organization. Like I said, Steve and the staff have done a great job. Coming into a post-COVID world, what does that look like? What does return to office look like? We're no different than every other organization, is that we need to certainly, tackle that issue head on. So continue to evolve the organization, to innovate, to take risk, to push new opportunities, new technologies in the sport. Focus then on the commercial side of it. How do we continue to raise funds that support the mission? How do we continue to develop a commercial model that is that can be sustained, that maximizes opportunities to take in revenue, which then serves the mission, right? Organization, resources equals mission success. And that mission is around growing the game and providing great experiences for those who participate in the game, lowering the barriers of entry, and then certainly highlighting the jewels of our sport. And those are the national teams and the national team development program for both men and women. And how do we do that? We do that, by, making sure the organization's in a great place, doing everything they can to put those resources together, and again, equals that mission success.
So for a little bit more about you, you are a Western New York guy, as we said, but you've lived there downstate, out Long Island area. I mean, that's a big rivalry going on when you're talking upstate, downstate. Where your allegiances lie in the lacrosse world?
Well, you never forget where you come from. That's just how it rolls with me. Loyal to a fault, maybe, but Western New York is home. But with that said, Long Island is a fun and interesting place for sure. Going to school at Hofstra, and as we would say, grinding it out on Hempstead Turnpike is a lesson and well learned in terms of both in education, but from a lacrosse experience. But it never ceases to amaze me, that rivalry to this day. Like, I played in the Empire State Games is a good example. And that rivalry was awesome between Western and Hudson Valley and Central and Long Island, and some great talent rolled through there. And, even after many years after those games were played, we still throw around who got medals and who didn't, even in those Empire State Game rivalry days.
Yeah, some great rivalries there. Finally, I'll leave you with this. Another fun fact that I've learned: You were roommates in college with John Cooper, the Lightning head coach?
Yes, Coop and I came into Hofstra the same year. So we're the same year of school, and towards the back half of our time there, we were suite mates along with two other roommates who always deserve a shout out, Steve Buck and Marty Kelly. So the four of us, yes, were roommates, and it was fun. It was a good time.
So what you're saying is it's been a good last couple of months for the suite mates here.
Yes, it has. It has. We've got college group chat, and I got my fair share of ribbing, as did Coop. So in terms of the run we've had in the last couple of months, but hats off to Coop. Obviously, getting your name on the Stanley Cup is quite an accomplishment 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, USA Lacrosse is a great honor, but you do that 2 times in a row, I think he might win.
I think so. Hats off to him.
Now you just have to have him bring the Stanley Cup around the offices at some point soon.
That would be great. I would love for that to happen. My two boys, as a matter of fact, we're working in a bar restaurant in an area. We're down here in Long Beach Island, New Jersey, as a matter of fact. And a member of the team came in with a cup, and they got their first experience with a cup, and they quite enjoyed that. And I text Coop on the side. I'm like, "Hey, my boy saw the cup. They might become, real hockey fans now." So it was a good small world story.
Well, Marc, congratulations on this new opportunity. We can't wait to see what you do with USA Lacrosse. We look forward to talking sometime here in the near future, and good luck as you get settled into the new digs down there.
Well, thank you very much. It was a great opportunity to have a chat, and I look forward to talking further about the growth of the sport and everything we can do to work together to do that.